Tampa Bay Funk Man. Learn how to play music and sing in 60 minutes, part 1. So you've seen the title on this video. I can teach anybody how to sing a song and play a keyboard in 60 minutes, 1 hour's time. That's a pretty brave statement. Wouldn't you agree? The truth is, I truly can. And you probably want to know how I do it. You're figuring I'm going to try to sell you some kind of product or try to get money out of your pocket. I'm not. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you very simply how I do it. Okay? There are certain rules, universal rules that apply in all things in life. We know that as we are born, we grow in a certain fashion, and our brain grows. Along with that comes the rite of passage, growing into a young adult, the rules of life, getting a job, responsibilities, relationships, children, and it goes on. Well, there's nothing different in music. If you know the rules, if you know the tools it takes, and what you have to do is develop those tools. So rather than me saying to you, okay, put your hand on this keyboard and play this scale, or try to sell you some type of book of rudiments and say, I want you to absorb them, read every single line and I want you to absorb it. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to listen to some music. Now, this is quite simple. I've said this before in videos, but I want to make it clearer today. Okay, the first rule of music, according to the Funk Man, this will open your mind. Okay, it's important that we open your mind. Okay, is not your hands. It's not your throat for singing. It's them big old ears you got. Do you realize how quickly things get to your brain through your ears? It's pretty close, you know, just right there. So what you have to learn is the first rule. And I'm going to show you the first rule of how to learn to play music in 60 minutes. The first rule I'm going to teach you is major and minor. Okay? Let's try this again. The first rule is going to be major and minor. Just for a second, I want you to think of major as a parade, a marching band going down the street. Happy people, laughing, very positive. Something like this. Nice, huh? Now, does that give you a thought? When you close your eyes and you hear that, doesn't that give you a thought of a happy feeling? Well, that's major. Train your mind to hear those sounds in nature and in music. Major. You see? Now you've just learned half of the first rule on how to play music in 1 hour and sing a song. Now the second part is much darker. The second part is the minor. The minor can be thought of as a dirge, a funeral march, something that is not necessarily deals with death, but is darker. It deals with the minors. Some of the greatest music in the world is written in the minors. Here's a piece of music that was written in the minors. it should seem dark and move in a very low, dark color. This is the way it sounds. This is your minors right here. You see? You've heard of blues, right? Blues is predominantly played in the minors because it's made to convey a lament, a feeling of foreboding, loss, pretty much dark. Once again, the minors. Now, as you can see, we have the major being up, happy. We have the minors being darker, more deliberate, a little more quiet, and slightly depressing, really. So we have just learned the first rule of learning how to play music within 60 minutes. The first thing you've learned is the difference between major and minor. Major is happy. Minor is low, depressing. So the point is, you've learned a very important thing about music: major and minor. In the next video, I'm going to teach you something called an interval. Sounds like a pretty intense word. It really isn't, because I'll explain it and I'll show you how it works. This is the Tampa Bay Funk Man teaching you how to play music in 60 minutes or less. Y'all have a good day. Have a major day, not a minor day. Bye-bye.